This is Donk. He is the best rifler in the world, and the legend is that Donk doesn't actually train. No aimbots, no deathmatch, no routine. He just jumps on and it's just pure, unfiltered chaos in pugs. Well, that's what I thought, until I saw his breakdown in this Zowie video. It turns out the world's most aggressive entry fragger has a very specific system for dominating his games. So for the next 7 days, I'm copying Donk's training routine to see if an unk like me can replicate that dominance, or if he is really just built different. Here are the rules for the week. First off, I can only do Donk's 15-minute high-intensity warm-up in the workshop map Aim Rush. Second, I'm going to play pugs every day. So Donk plays 5 or 6 matches just to warm up. I'm 32. I don't have that kind of time, so I'm committing to a minimum of 2 or 3. And thirdly, I'm going to finish my sessions with some deathmatch like Donk, who uses deathmatch after he is warm to actively improve his mechanics. And for this, I'm going to use the specific drills I've learned from the Nico routine to target my weaknesses. So by the end of the week, am I going to be on the path to 4,000 elo like Donk, or is this boomer going to struggle to keep up? Let's find out. On day 1, I already felt a little rough, a little rusty. I'd just taken the Christmas holidays off. And also to add to that, I had a New Year's resolution of 16-9 to play with. But we dived into the map that Donk uses, Aim Rush. And I'm going to be honest, I understand why he uses it. It's a real gem when practicing real game swings. So where's your pre-aim? Where's your crosshair as you're swinging fights or as they're swinging across angles? And also, it's not like aimbots where it's either side/side / still targets. It's against actual moving bots that you can't see until they're fighting you. And day 1 highlighted something that I already failed, which is the Donk rule of using a minimum amount of bullets per kill. This is because I was just swinging and spraying, not actually trying to go for the headshot. And this is definitely something I bring into my games, as I saw later on, and something I need to work on as the week progresses. At the end of day 1, I played some pugs, I got some losses, I got some good kills as well, but I can definitely see how this map transitions into good peaks and also good mechanics in those fights. So despite ending with those losses, I could feel some comfort returning, and I dived into day 2. In day 2, when I got into the aim rush, I felt a level of high confidence. I was incredibly crisp, and I was hitting those headshots pretty great. But as soon as I went into the matches and the pugs, it all went to pot. I was still panicking, I was still spraying, I wasn't peaking correctly, and I was losing a lot of games based on my individual 50-50 fights that I should be winning. And I couldn't figure out why. Why have I gone from this crisp aim in aim rush to really messing up in the match? It was really frustrating, and I ended the day with more losses and some annoyance. So I went into day 3 and jumped into aim rush, and a viewer noticed this, and it was completely right. I don't click confirm. So what do I mean by click confirm? When I'm taking the fight and I'm swinging, I just flick and hope that my first shot is accurate. I don't flick, make sure my shot is on their head, and then click. That is click confirmation. And I don't do that, which means that during my warm-up, it's great, I'm loose, and I'm hitting those nice flicks, and it's all working out great. But when I go into a match where there's different aspects to the game, such as their different type of peeking and crouching and movement, ping difference in CS2, which we all know the network settings are a bit off, and just general sort of movement around the map and my own personal swing, if I'm not confirming the shot, I'm missing that first bullet, and then I'm having to lead into a spray, which I'm hoping I'm hitting. So this might have been all right in CSGO, but it's not good in CS2. Click confirmation is extremely important. So I spent the entire warm-up focusing on that click confirmation. And this led into my first pug, which went extremely well. Mechanics felt really impactful and really precise. But despite that first pug going really well, I came to the conclusion that solo queuing is killing my mental health. This is the thing with pugs. I never feel like I'm actually learning anything. When I solo queue, I feel like I am just brain deading myself. I need some daytime gamers to queue with. So I've reached out to some people. We have a few people to play with, but I'm always looking for more. If you feel like you want to be a daytime gamer, let me know in the comments or hit me up on Faceit, and maybe we can get together and queue some Faceit games. So I ended day 3 still with some losses, but a win and a strong confidence in my mechanics, which is what I'm really trying to build up here. On day 4, I was spending a lot less time trying to spray and more time trying to click, confirm, and tap some heads. Did I just kill that guy? And this was leading into my pugs. I was finding those donk style aggressions and relying on my strong aim to bail me out as they swung me. Day 5 felt like a bit of a turning point. Not necessarily for my sprays or for my overall general mechanics, but for my click confirmation and especially for my deagle. Just take a look at these deagle shots. Back to back, 2 games in a row, I hit a 3k with the deagle and a 4k 1v3 with the deagle. This is not something that I'm used to. My deagle is probably my worst gun in the game. I've always struggled with it, and I've always felt like I've been unable to do the highlights that I've seen so many of my mates and so many players do with it. It's crazy. Day 5 unlocked the confidence with the deagle, and hopefully that will extend day 6, day 7, and onwards. So with that confidence coming out of day 5, day 6, I upped the number of bots from 4 to 5 and really put myself to the test. This is how Donk warms up. This is the intensity he goes with, and this is the first round I had of the day. I think I'm ready. Just really, really crisp. So my aim and mechanics are really excelling. My peaks are feeling so much better. My crosshair placement is getting better and better each time I play it. And the click confirmation realization that a viewer helped me identify has really, really changed the way I aim. So we dived into the pugs. We're finally playing Anubis again. And I had a ridiculous couple of games. My aim was super crisp. My crosshair placement, I had like a 5.5 degree window. For if you don't know, that's insane. That's cheater level sort of crosshair placement. It was so good to see. But because I'm an unk, did it hold for the whole day? No. Do I have the energy to keep this up for 5 to 6 pugs? No. I'm not donk. I'm not young anymore. But it feels good that it's still there. I'm trusting my flicks, but even more so, I'm trusting where my crosshair is, so that when I get swung or when I am swinging a point, I can feel confident that I only need to do micros or no micros at all. And this is allowing me to lead to those click confirmation shots. And finally, we got to day 7. And when you compare day 1 to day 7, I think you can see the rust in day 1 and the awkwardness in the peaks and the fights compared to day 7, where peaks feel fluid. My accuracy feels focused and sharp. And these 15 minutes are leading into really impactful pugs and performances. But I'll be honest, am I nearer to 4K elo than I was before? No. Did I win some games? Yes, I'm slightly above the elo I was before. Am I slightly better than I was when I started day 1? No, I'm not slightly better. I'm significantly better. I'm a lot more confident in my peaks, in my accuracy. So, was it worth it? Yes, I genuinely think it was worth it. I think Donk has a very effective way of warming up, and I would recommend this way of warming up to anybody. I think it gets you in the mindset for peaking correctly. I think it gets you in the mindset for that click confirmation, and that minimal bullet usage gets you that tapping potential. And also from a stats perspective, I started the year with, I believe, about a 72, maybe 70 aim rating, and has shot up to an 84 on Leetify, which is massive. And this is unsurprising because one of the big things that most pros talk about with Donk isn't necessarily just his aggression, is that he has the best crosshair placement out of any pro in the scene. Am I going to continue doing it? Yes, I am. I think it's a fantastic way to warm up. I think the deathmatch at the end was super useful to keep my aim training going, but I don't think it was as impactful over the 7 days as that warm up. But I would change the way that warm up is structured. I wouldn't just dive straight in and just go for the 15 minutes on aim rush. What I would actually do is start with 5 minutes of aimbots. Get your hand, your wrist, your arm, your shoulder, all that good stuff warm. Get yourself nice and comfortable for 5 minutes so that when you go into aim rush, you don't start with panic because you're not warm and you're starting to miss shots and getting a bit worked up like I've been getting. I also learned that don't overdo it. I overdid it, especially before my ESEA game, and I think it actually sort of burnt me a little bit. Just keep it to 15 minutes and just relax, wait. You don't need to do more than that. And that is the comfortable level. And I also learned that pugging, I don't believe, especially with no less than 3 mates, is not worth it. I don't feel like I'm getting enough from the pugs. Maybe it's the level I'm at. Maybe it's the way I'm playing. Maybe it's just the mentality I bring into pugs. But I don't feel like I'm gaining anything from it. All I'm getting is annoyed at my teammates for being toxic or just general assholes. Or I just feel like I'm getting pushed in the back at a random ass time by a random ass player, which makes no sense. So as an anchor, as a passive support player, learning to be aggressive is great, but learning bad habits is worse. So what's next? On the back of that, for me, the next thing might be looking for players who don't have pugs as part of their training routine. And there are 3 players that immediately come to mind. Blame F, with his ridiculous 3 to 4 hours of deathmatch and 10,000 aimbots. We have Rops, who never plays Face It and just deathmatches and I think does movement stuff. And we have Mezzy, who I'm still waiting for you to DM me on Twitter, by the way. Outrageous that you haven't. Just crazy. But I asked him the question in his stream and he said that he doesn't play Face It throughout the year. He just deathmatches. Doesn't do movement stuff, doesn't do any of that. He just puts on some music and deathmatches. So maybe Mezzy is next. Maybe Rops is next. Maybe we go with the craziness of Blame F. You will find out in the next video. I think each time I do this, I pick up something new, I pick up something great, and I throw off something that doesn't work for me. Not everything pros do, not everything I do will work for you. Everyone has different ways of warming up, different ways of playing, different ways of getting comfortable. And what I'm trying to do with this series is pick up a routine that works for me. Or more preferably, routines. The same routine might get monotonous and boring. And also, I don't want to train one thing and become great at one thing and miss out on others. Before you go, like, subscribe if you're new, check out my other videos. I really appreciate you watching to the end if you have, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Peace.